Welcome to Deep Thoughts and Self-Defense with Lance and Mindy.
Hello.
And William.
He was making too much noise. Anyway, we miss our students and welcome to Jiu-Jitsu online. We will be showing y'all some moves that you're going to get to practice back and forth. But right now, we're going to talk about why Jiu-Jitsu is the best martial arts for self-defense. I think it's the best martial arts to practice for self-defense because it's good for a smaller, weaker opponent to use against a larger opponent. We use not our muscles, but like our frame and our body structure, like our bone structure, to help keep opponents away, or like if they're smashing you, we just use our framing and get out from under them that way. And it doesn't take a big, heavy person or a lot of strength to hold someone down, to break an arm, to choke a neck. We always say no one has a tough neck when it comes to chokes. Like, I started off with striking, and striking is hard. If you get punched wrong, you can automatically go out. You can, not want to get punched again. And if you punch a bigger person and if I were to punch like a Lance or something and I was giving him all I have, I'd probably just make him mad. I mean, he can take a punch to the jaw. I can't. And then most fights end up on the ground, and that's where Jiu-Jitsu comes into play.
Yeah, there's lots of advantages. All martial arts are prepared for self-defense. That's what they're for, is they're set up to defend yourself. But over the years, you kind of develop improvements in technology. And I've studied many martial arts throughout my life, and I find that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu not only is the most modern technology for defending yourself, but it's also it's built into it is innovation. Built into it is following a system that you can interchange the pieces, use different submissions or different positions that are your favorite that can all be effective. It's up to the individual and what you spend your time practicing. I think that's one of the other advantages of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for self-defense, is that it is so much fun to practice as a hobby, and it's so healthy for you to use it for becoming fit, and staying fit and hanging out with good people. We have so many good friends that we train jiu-jitsu with that it makes us come and go to practice 5-6 days a week. And you're not really going as like I don't really go to practice anymore for just self-defense, just to defend myself. The thought of me getting into a fight is so far in the back of my head that that's for sure not the purpose of me going. It just happens to be a byproduct. It's like accidentally happens after I go and have fun with my friends and exercise to, let off a little bit of steam. And then just so happens that the moves that we're practicing, the techniques that we're practicing with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, when you apply them to a street fight or like a self-defense situation where you're fighting for your life, you happen to be practicing the techniques that would be the checkmate that finishes the fight, and most other martial arts are things to do in the middle of the fight, but you can't really practically practice gouging somebody's eyes and understanding what the real effect of that is, or groin kick somebody and see if that really incapacitating? Is that really going to work? But Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, we can practice 100% effort against each other and not injure each other, but then also make progress in the world of learning how to defend ourselves.
What do you think about pressure points? I don't know pressure points, but lots of people ask about them, and I think they're silly. Like, I know people in law enforcement or like who work at the jail that are like, oh, I'm gonna do this pressure point to you, and what do you think?
I think pressure points, that's even a lot of law enforcement are required to use what they call pressure point control tactics, and it's using, violence, using force, pinpointed in one specific area to get the maximum effect. And that might have some application in like a law enforcement setting where they have to get complete compliance, and that's the only option, but like I said, that use of violence is no good. You can't rely on, I'm going to pinch you just right and it works, or I'm going to poke you in the right spot or punch you in the right spot. if there was some magical place that I could throw a karate chop in and incapacitate my opponent, that they still, survive the encounter reliably, man, pressure points are not going to work. They work until your opponent is tough. Like mental toughness can push through pressure points, no problem. If I can jump into ice water, using mind over matter, well, then somebody pinching my neck the right way, I'm just going to decide to keep fighting.
If your opponent can train once you snap his arm like this and keep sparring you, then...
Yeah, if you break an arm's broken, it's useless for the rest of the match.
No, but your guy kept sparring,
Oh, yeah.
So he had, mind over, I'm not going to
That's right. I had a match, we're about 3 minutes into it, I broke the guy's arm, and it just kind of happened. I didn't do it maliciously. The guy just didn't tap out when I put pressure, and when he tried to escape, he fell on top, and he kept fighting. He fought for 2 or 3 more minutes. And yeah, that same guy, I poke a spot on his arm or his neck or whatever, and it's not gonna have any effect on him if a broken arm doesn't do it. You know what worked with that guy? Choke.
Yeah.
I threw a triangle choke around his neck and I squeezed. He couldn't breathe. He had to give up or he was gonna pass out. Way even more effective than the arm bar that I was using.
And this might be off topic, but he was talking about, coming in and training every day and it makes you more tough. Well, when everyone starts jiu-jitsu, your wall is gonna be less than when you train more and more. When we first start, we all get bruises up on our arms, and it hurts when someone staples their shin bone across our leg, and we're like, ow, that might feel weird. I've heard our students say that, but in jiu-jitsu now, when we're training, we don't even think about that stuff. Occasionally, my skin might get pinched to the ground, ow, but that's all. You just keep going because you tap when you got to tap, before your arm is broken or before you're gonna pass out.
Yeah, that's really, that kind of stuff is gonna happen times 10 for sure in a real fight, and every day coming in.
Jaw an accident while you train, oops, that just happened.
Getting used to it in the training, that's super valuable for self-defense. It literally is you're practicing a fight, and
Makes you tougher, makes you a tougher person.
Yeah. That's always think is the first benchmark. Yeah. Baby slobbers. The first benchmark for people to strive for when they first start training at our academy is to become first invincible, to increase your survivability before you really focus on the finishes, but the finishes are an important part as well. You got to know how the fight's coming in.
What else? Do you have any more reasons why you think it's the best?
The advantages of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for self-defense. We talked about
size.
Yeah, smaller person can for sure use it against a larger person. It'll increase your physical fitness a lot more than practicing katas that you would get at a taekwondo or karate. That's all time and energy spent that's not really going to save you in a street fight at all. It's fun. It being fun to practice makes me want to go do it more often, which means I'm going to become more effective in everything that I spend my time learning. Oh yeah, and pressure points suck. They don't work. All right. Y'all stay safe out there. Don't cough on each other.
We miss our students at Select Jiu-Jitsu and of course at Baylor, and I'm disappointed that all of this is happening, but we're making the best of it, hanging out at home, making some videos for y'all, and I'm excited to see what comes of that. Stay safe and healthy.
Catch you next time.